essentially, we found out so many different things. We found out that the corner folk. There was like a really weird and disturbing video about corner girl, which appeared to be an unconscious woman being dragged into the corner world. Um, we learned about Maze Movie Maker, which appears to be um, an offshoot of Personal Computer. So it seems like what happened here was Maze invented personal computing. But for reasons unknown, Maze was attacked in 1980 by special trees. That's what it looked like. And they had to do a national recall of all Maze personal computers. And then it appears that it wasn't until 2000 that they released something approximating a home computer called Maze Movie Maker, which appears to be its own standalone machine um, that is solely dedicated to doing movie making and editing activities. We also learned that there is an alternate reality version of Twitter called Twitter, and it needs a dedicated handheld device to access. So we learned about that. We also learned that a ship got caught in the Suez Canal, and then when a nuke was used to try and dislodge it from being stuck in the Suez Canal, it rose up on giant crab legs. I don't know if this means that in this world all shipping containers are moved by crab boats, or if that was like a one-off freak thing. Yes, a nuke. Yeah, if you're coming into the middle of this, I apologize, but I'm trying to sum up what we learned so far in Season 2. The crab then crashed into the Cairo Tower, killing like 1,200 people. And then, while it was unconscious, the Anti-Dean Association sent out a worldwide message to Americans, letting them know that the shipping containers on the ship were falling off and dropping a lot of really fancy stuff, and that the Egyptians were going to steal it if Americans didn't rise up and take what was theirs. So 12,000 Americans went to try and grab as many, basically went to go and loot Cairo. And then they basically died en masse. And like 77 people survived and created a religion around worshiping the crab. We then learned about the Dean disaster, which was apparently when the Anti-Dean Association hijacked all of the air raid sirens in the country and proceeded to blast them at beyond max volume, deafening a huge swath of the American population, as well as James Dean himself, the President of the United States. And then there was something about how James Dean got a maze, like cochlear implant, like a hearing implant that restored his hearing, and then everybody who had been deafened in America was given these hearing aids or the hearing implants. And I don't know what that means exactly, but that seems like it would be bad. I think it would be bad. Also, I just need to really quickly check something from Dean Disaster. Okay.
Physical appearances. These methods were so effective in calming the terrorist.
Oh, yeah, and then President Dean retaliated against the Anti-Dean Association by rounding up hundreds of thousands of people and feeding them to the eldritch monstrosities that live under America's monuments. So that is probably evil.
Disney Medical Center, the device was surgically inserted into Dean. The
I just
sound
wanted to-
quality of the implant and the speedy nature of the surgery inspired Dean to imagine a new government department, which would be able to oversee the mass production and distribution of quality hearing implants to the American public. That evening, President Dean requested an emergency session of Congress and proposed the ambitious project.
Sirens, the people, listen.
And as a result, spoke much louder on the Senate floor than on previous occasions. The volume of his speech, which greatly amplified his compassion for the American people, profoundly affected the
I think they were both. I think that there is something about transporting people that these monuments feed on.
senators. And in the early hours of May 23, 1969, after 10 hours of discussion, the Department of Technology was approved. It was the fastest an executive department had ever been established. By May 27th, all persons with hearing loss attributed to the anti-Dean disaster would be eligible for the surgical implantation of a hearing device free of charge. Mass operating rooms would be established throughout the U.S., able to house over 1,000 patients at once. The use of surgical androids was approved on June 6th, which increased the number of surgeries performed per day over 250%.
Okay, so I just have questions about this particular part. So they don't have personal computers. They don't have personal computers, and they have, like, dedicated devices. But they are able to make androids that are capable of doing surgery. They made androids before PCs were a thing in this timeline. Exactly. Which I would say maybe grants more credence to my theory that James Dean in this universe is an android. And I also have a sneaking suspicion that the computers in this world aren't run similarly to the computers in our world. I don't think their computers run and operate based on the same principles as our computers. Because there's something special about their personal computers that causes these special trees to go apeshit. So I think it has to be something else. Like, maybe there are pieces of special tree in computers. Maybe they use those instead of, like, CPUs. And maybe they use something similar. They're based on tree electricity? That could be. That could be. James Dean is evil? I think that James Dean is evil, yeah. I mean, he's expelling political dissidents. Treetricity? Maybe. Maybe. I don't have a fully fleshed out idea. I just remember that they mentioned this very briefly and moved on, and I didn't really, like, let it sink in at the time that they were using androids. And this just kind of, like... This is something I think we should keep in mind. Alright. Additionally, we learned about, there are sphinxes that fly around in space. and summon green balls of light. Look back at the picture that shows where maize factories were in America and the placement of the horned serpent. Yeah, I made note of that when we were watching it. Yeah. Fallen father, guy got followed home by a canyon crown, which are decapitated heads that have been decapitated using Giza glass, which is a special, seemingly supernatural glass that is extraordinarily sharp and can basically displace something in space-time, which is really weird. And we ended last night on Rockefeller Revelation, which is the revelation that John D. Rockefeller, who is president, sold canyon crowns to Germany prior to World War I and fueled their war effort with powerful war machines that allowed them to build Zeppelins and bomb the shit out of their enemies. And those Zeppelins were only stopped in Egypt using some kind of cosmic ray gun that drew power from the special trees. And in the process of doing that, 17 soldiers were essentially disintegrated into energy, and that energy bound itself together into a new being that formed the Air Force One Angel, which was the being that later would go on to hijack Air Force One and drop nukes on several different sites around the United States. And also, that angel vaporized John D. Rockefeller in a bunker. Yeah, Freedom also beheaded a lot of people. Yeah. I wonder if they're using Giza glass in maze machines. Maybe. I mean, that's Paladin Lost. I think maybe like the Giza glass and like using the Giza glass to sever parts of these special trees and putting them in the personal computers. To me, that seems to make some kind of sense for why the special trees then get really, really mad at Maze and attack. I don't know if the Giza glass has any additional properties that we know of yet. Jack, they didn't drop nukes, they planted special trees. See, I'm confused by that, though, because it seems to indicate that they dropped special trees on Alcatraz. But that seems strange. Anyway, trying to wrap this up. Alcatraz. I know Alcatraz wasn't the Angel. One of the places that Air Force One stopped was in the Alcatraz exclusion zone. There was one like Alcatraz zone that was expanding from California. There was one zone expanding from Mount Rushmore, and then there was one expanding from appeared to be Washington D.C. or possibly New York. The Angel was on the plane. It stopped north of Alcatraz? Oh. Then I wonder what Alcatraz was doing as, like, vast swath of the United States was eliminated. Maybe Alcatraz, like, filled in... If maybe the land was annihilated and the ocean rushed in and Alcatraz continued to propagate? Maybe? I don't know. All right, here we go. Washington Wonderland is our next stop. Here we go. After an unsuccessful lobotomy, Virginia Fate Arnoldson provided a more complete account of the Rockefeller tree tragedy. This is her account. Oh shit, guys. We getting a sequel.
When I was little, something went wrong with me, and everything switched. Even my parents, my new ones, did not like me, so they left me. My foster parents did not like me either, so I was left at an orphanage. Some of my friends were better off, but many were left at the orphanage too. We loved each other. We stuck together until we were 18. Then we were separated. The military took the boys, and the doctors took the girls. They probably do not remember the tree anymore. Soon, I will not remember either. But I hope you will remember. Remember for me. When the tree changed me, I was not scared. At first, I did not know what was wrong with me. When my eyes adjusted, I was in a field of special trees. I was reminded of a story my ma told me. Alice in Wonderland. This was my Wonderland. I held myself close and looked up. The trees looked like they ended, but above them there were upside down trees, and above those there were upright trees, like they were being reflected forever. The pattern repeated for as far as I could see. I looked down, and I thought I was on solid ground, but when I looked more closely, I was sitting on a thin, floating layer of dust. It smelled like baby powder.
They put baby powder on Mount Rushmore. You guys remember? You guys remember? They put baby powder on Mount Rushmore. We're putting the pieces together.
And through the dust, I could see the start of another tree. And below that one, there was another and another, an infinity of trees. While I played with the dust, I heard distant footsteps. They grew louder and louder. Then there were bright flashes of light all around me. Out from these lights, hundreds of people ran out. One man came up to me and whispered, "The trees are not the trees." He had such sad, tired eyes. As he picked me up and put me on his shoulders, he said, "You could be her. Anyone could be her. I promise I will not leave you." There was a bright flash, and we were in another field. He was sitting in front of me with his hands out. Another flash, and we were both running past through the woods. Another flash, and we were both lying on the ground, looking at infinity. Every few seconds there was a flash, and we would be doing something else. Again, and again, and again. Over and over and over. It would not stop. It felt like forever. Years of flashes. I was so angry at first. But soon I had those sad, tired eyes of his too. We were so sad and tired. Every now and then we would flash to another layer of dust, above or below, who knows. But we would always see the climbers. I think there were people who tried to climb the trees while they were flashed around. They were stretched and burnt.
Oh
Into the
god.
dust was the people that fell. The man was always with me. He kept me safe the whole time. It must have been years. It felt like 500 years. I named him Everett. He was always there. He never left me. Everett was my best friend. Then, on one random day, no time, one random time, all the trees bent, and a flash brought me back to New York. All my friends were around me, but this was another New York. I did something wrong, and I lost Everett. I ruined everything. I should have stayed home that night. Why did I not stay home? I lost everything. For me and my friends, I ruined their lives. I will not tell you about the orphanage. It was a hard time. I will keep memories of the orphanage to myself. They do not matter to you. When I was 18, I left the orphanage. I looked for my new parents. They were not together anymore. My new pa died from a broken heart, and my new ma lived all by herself. She did not let anyone into her house anymore, all because of me. I wanted my old parents back. I went to the Rockefeller Center for an answer. The tree stood at the top of the plaza, above everyone else. I was never supposed to visit again, but I did, and I spoke to her. At first, I could not understand her. Her voice was like a breeze behind my eyes. I understand her. And
What the hell is it? So it's still the tree. Hey, Kairyu. So it's still the tree, but now it has legs and hands. I don't like that design at all.
I spoke to her. At first, I could not understand her. Her voice was like a breeze behind my eyes. It was cold, and I could not move. But soon, I could understand.
Hell.
She said that I had to be ready to exchange one life for my own. She understood that I wanted to go back home, to my New York. She said, come back in 3 years. And I did. I waited 1,095 days. I returned 3 years later. At first, I could not understand her. Her voice was like a breeze behind my eyes. It was cold, and I could not move. But eventually, I could understand. She said that I had to be ready to exchange one life for my own. She understood that I wanted to go back home, to my New York. She said, come back in 3 years. And I did. I waited 1,000.
No, there was a video where there was a flash on top of a building. I think it was at the very end of Virginia in Wonderland.
95 days. I returned 3 years later. At first, I could not understand her. Her voice was like a breeze behind my eyes. It was cold, and I could not move. But eventually, I could understand. She said that I had to be ready to exchange one life for my own. She understood that I wanted to go back home, to my New York. She said, come back in 3 years. And I did. I waited.
Yeah, Shaloon. Yeah. Nah, 3 years is also the length of time the gravediggers had to dig up the special tree.
1,095 days. While I waited, I met a man. He was a very important man, a secret agent. He followed me everywhere. One day, I found him waiting inside my house. He told me that he was here to monitor me. No, to watch and protect me. But he had fallen in love with me. No one else liked me. So we took each other. We grew close. Leonard loved me. I loved him too.
Wait,
Together, we had a baby boy.
Leonard. Wasn't there a character named Leonard Melrose?
I named him Everett. Little Everett was inside for 9 months when I saw the tree again. She put directions in my head. I followed those directions. I walked for 4 days. I had to. I wanted to go home so badly. But I became
Jack,
so
it was the FBI agent? Yeah, wasn't that Leonard Melrose?
happy when I could hear the music. It was like the tree's voice, but warm. The Washington Monument looked much bigger in person.
Oh, shit.
The door went up high, like it was for something much bigger.
Oh, shit.
Then I went inside. There were bodies everywhere. The breeze told me to relax. I went on the elevator.
Oh, no.
It went up.
Oh, no, no, no.
All the way up. It stopped at the top,
Oh,
and the
fuck.
music blared. It was so loud I could not move. The floor opened, and I fell all the way down. I felt myself hit the ground. Then I kept drifting down, past the ground, past rock, sand, and magma, through the layers of earth. It must have been years. It felt like 500 years. Then I reached the other side, and I felt myself rising through all the layers of earth, past the magma, sand, and rock, past the ground, back into a body, another body, almost the same body, and flattened like a little red pancake.
Oh, no.
But I felt so empty.
Oh, no.
My belly had sunk. Little Everett was not with me anymore. Many others laid around me, broken like me, almost alive and completely still. But little Everett was nowhere. While everyone else exchanged for their own lives themselves, I must have exchanged little Everett for mine. I cried. I cried for years. We all bled into the ground for years. Why did the tree keep us alive? Did they like pain? Did they drink our blood?
God.
Was there any reason for any of it? I lost little Everett. He had no say. He did not even say his first word. I ruined his life from the start. Maybe he lives in Wonderland. I hope he lives in Wonderland.
Maybe I don't know how time works in Wonderland. Maybe the Everett she found was her own son.
One day, one random day, the music grew, and there was the brightest flash. We found ourselves outside, at the base of the tower. The tree had been freed, and we were in a field of trees. Wonderland had risen.
Wait, the tree had been freed. Oh, like it had escaped the Washington Monument?
But little Everett was still missing. We were all lifted out in helicopters. I was at the hospital faster than ever before. They told me it was 2003. They told me everything I knew was wrong. They told me everyone I knew was dead. And now they plan to fix me. I'm sorry, Pa.
Yeah, keep in mind she was born in like 1902 or something.
I'm sorry, Ma. I'm sorry, friends. I'm sorry, Leonard. I'm so Everett. Please remember me. Please, please remember me.
After a second lobotomy, Virginia never spoke again. Late in her life, she produced a series of paintings titled The Right Life. Wait, she was in 2003. Virginia passed away in 1980 at the age of 59. Hey, what would Judas do? How you doing? So, remember how there was a double of Washington? There must have also been a double of Virginia, right? So maybe this is when the other Virginia died. You know, the one who put the bear on the tree. Because the Virginia we've been following is the one who put the star on the tree. So maybe this is the date of death for Bear Virginia. Because Star Virginia was in 2003. Yes, I dream that her son, Everett, is believed to be the 20th Washington absentee. Oh, shit, dude. Remember back in season 1 where they talked about how the 19 Washington absentees have been 19 Washington absentees have been identified, but they mentioned that there were 20 Washington absentees? Everett was the 20th one. You know, people who just went missing at the Washington Monument. I wonder if that means there were there were 19 other people who jumped kind of like dimensions, who sacrificed someone else to move dimensions instead of swapping with their own double. If so, would that mean that there are 19 other people who got stuck in Wonderland? Oh, are we watching a show? Kind of.
Like the stars in the Milky Way.
Yeah, stuck in Wonderland. If you're coming in at this point, there are eldritch horrors that live under all of the monuments. There are multiple universes, and we are currently looking at the Dean-verse, I guess. Someone mentioned like the James Dean universe. I think it was Archangel. Just got here? Yeah. Just buckle yourself in. It's gonna get weird. Next video, Air Force One Fallen. Air Force One Fallen Angel. Okay. Simulation of strike property of Maze. August 2003. 2003, Virginia Arnoldson. Yeah, also the Confederates won the war. After making various stops across the United States, Air Force One flew into the restricted airspace of Washington, D.C. After an extensive evaluation, the United States Air Force took action. The U.S. Air Force took action. They blew it up. Mission accomplished. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. What the fuck is this map? What the fuck is this map though? Why are there only 3 states, and why does this one just extend and then have no border whatsoever? I think I blinked and missed it. It just got blown up real quickly, and then it cut to mission accomplished, which is deeply funny to me. Thought what you could die in 1983 and 2003 at the same time. I think that there are parallel universes, and when Virginia put the star on top of the tree, she was swapped with a Virginia that put a bear on top of the tree. Essentially, both of them touching each other through space-time and swapping places. And as a result, the Virginia who put the bear on the tree was in our world and died in 1983. And the Virginia who put the star on the tree, who was in the Dean-verse, is living in 2003 now. That's just the Quebec abyss. Legally known as the United Zones of America. Oh dear. Here, you're gonna need a link to the playlists. Watch season 1, get caught up with us, okay? Oh! Okay, So as of 2003, the Alcatraz zone, and I'm going to assume that this is a zone completely dominated by the biological life form that is the Alcatraz Island, now extends this far. The Rushmore zone, which is special trees, if we extrapolate from last time we saw. So this is all special trees. And then the Washington zone? I'm wondering if the Washington zone is like the only habitable area of the country left. Hey, Eugene Masato. Hey, Evelyn Ariel. How you doing, folks? Oh, a nominal Naomi. I'm sorry, I didn't see the raid alert. Hello, everybody. Just real quick, welcome, folks. My name's Riverboat Jack. I talk about the news and politics. We had a lovely interview segment. We covered some pretty horrific news pieces. And now we are in the process of going over the Monument Mythos. Dorgrona, you asked, is it an SCP? I don't know what SCP is. People keep asking me that. But given how the people who ask me that kind of keep saying that Irk, you accidentally shouted out non-binary superpowers instead of nominal Naomi. But essentially we are now going over the Monument Mythos. It is a history of an alternate reality in which James Dean becomes president, the Confederacy won the Civil War, John D. Rockefeller wasn't an oil man and instead became president, and also all of the nation's monuments are built on top of eldritch monstrosities. And apparently androids are a thing, but personal computers make some of these eldritch horrors attack you. Yeah, the Blind Ace. If it's any consolation, we also learned that Alcatraz Island, the island of Alcatraz, is actually a biological organism that got woken up via radiation from a nuclear bomb and is now multiplying and has so far taken over almost all of California and up to Texas. So things are not going well in this alternate universe, to say the least. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. I can't catch you guys up on all of it, so you're getting thrown into the grinder here. Okay, I just if you guys got questions, I'll try and answer them as we go. But I also don't have all of the answers to the questions. We're trying to theorize as we go. Also, James Dean might be a robot. Anyway. Oh, this is not an SCP. This is just similar-ish. The Southwest state is what was annexed from Mexico. The middle one seems to be based on the Louisiana Purchase. Yeah, it does kind of, doesn't it? I am still very confused why the state of Maine just doesn't seem to end. Oh, a waste? Waste? Pahasapa? Nakachtak? Wait, ex tribus unum? What does that mean? One out of three. Oh, maybe this is also maybe this is also like a reference to like the Holy Trinity, like the concept of like a triumvirate God. Let's keep going. Murder demon, don't you already, like, have issues with your tiny dick? Why do you gotta go and make your dick smaller? Why? Pretty soon it's gonna be a grain of sand. Just like a tiny microscopic peen. Why are you living in the fantasy land where you have a normal-sized dick? I don't understand. I'm so lost right now, but it's okay. I'm intrigued. That's all you need, really. One of out of 3, 1, as opposed to e pluribus unum. Exactly, Dorgrona. Okay, so there's Mars. Or Al Gore's America is a shell. Okay, now we're learning that Al Gore won the presidency. This is the first time we got this one. For the true ruler beneath our feet, it is time for the underground god to leave. He does not belong here, but the world egg cannot hatch without force. We must fracture the zones ourselves. We must split the earth open. Once it leaves, there will be peace and a state for each and every person. No more zones. For the cracks will be the true borders. 1,000 states of America are 1,000 states of peace. We are no longer the Anti-Device Association. We are the advocates for the division of America. How will we divide the land? With our fallen angel, of course. Who would have thought he would land on the tomb of the unknown soldier? We found him before anyone else, burnt and broken from the blast. After we fix him, he will be a walking atom bomb. He will evict the horned serpent the same way he evicted the traitor, President Rockefeller, from reality. Okay, so I'm just trying to parse this. So, first of all, the Angel survived the destruction of Air Force One, and in the after it was shot down and exploded, he fell on top of the tomb of the unknown soldier, which is oddly fitting since he is 17 unknown soldiers amalgamated into one being. And then he is able to vaporize people, so this does indicate... Oh no. Hello, Dylan Burns Raiders. Welcome, everybody. My name's Riverboat Jack. How are we all doing? You're coming in during a portion of the stream where we're going over the Monument Mythos, which is a YouTube series about an alternate version of America in which eldritch beings reside underneath our monuments, and we're just trying to figure out what's happening in this world. And it's kind of fun. It is awesome. And I hope you all go follow Dylan Burns TV, okay? He's a real rad dude. He's doing really good work in Ukraine right now. He's literally like putting his life on the line to get news out of Ukraine. You all should go follow him. He's doing really great work. Also, Raiders, welcome. I'm Riverboat Jack, cover news and politics. I'm a lefty. I like talking about stuff and things and such. And if you guys got questions about trans people or want to talk about lefty politics, like socialism or something, I'm more than happy to engage with you on those topics. And yeah, this is going to be a good time. Hey, how you doing, Pepsin? How you doing, Bluestone? Welcome, folks. Welcome. Also... hit the follow button so you can come here again sometime if you are intrigued by the concept so far. So to sum up a couple of these things. Also, this is going to be very confusing to those of you who just came in. I apologize preemptively, okay? So let's just go over what is put here. Okay? Okay. So, first of all, we learned that Al Gore won the presidency in this alternate world. Additionally, we learned that there is an underground god. Now, we don't know much about this so far. That could mean a lot of different things. However, it seems that the ADA, the Anti-Device Association, which was formerly the Anti-Dean Association, is now going to be the Association for the Division of America. So all three, the same organization, is dedicating itself to freeing this underground god. Because they believe that the world is an egg and that they must break the earth in order to allow this god to leave. Okay. And in order to do that, they are going to use the angel that they found after the destruction of Air Force One, and they are talking about how the cracks of the world will be the true borders after the world is broken. Okay. That seems to be that. And they also mention the horned serpent, which appears to be the underground god that they were talking about previously, which means that connects it to an earlier government project called, I believe, just Project Horned Serpent, that we learned about earlier in this series, which I don't know what that means, but it might mean that this is a very literal horned serpent that lives inside of the earth. If the world is an egg, does that mean it's trans? Yes. Okay, let's continue with this. We're almost done with the video. Advocates for the Division of America. The unification of 1980 was short-lived as state borders were restored by the end of the decade. However, due to the extent of the unification of 2003, state borders are not expected to be restored within the century. The ADA refuses to recognize the three zones and their capitals. So, in 1980, Maze was attacked by special trees, which might have led to the deletion of state borders, but then a restoration shortly thereafter. I don't know what unification means in this context, though. Oh shit! The fallen angel on the tomb of the unknown soldier. So the fallen angel, we get our first clear look at this being, which appears to be made out of energy. It looks kind of like. I know I keep making this reference. But it does kind of look like one of the corner folk from the very first video. Like you got really long arms, really stumpy legs here. Weirdly bulbous head. This is photographed by the ADA, property of Maze. Which doesn't really make any sense. Why would a photograph by the ADA be then property of Maze? Explain corner folk for the new chatters. I don't know how to explain corner folk. They're beings that can traverse the boundaries of reality at corners where those two realities intersect. That's about as good as I can give the explanation. Okay, we're gonna learn more about the Liberty Lurkers. Is this like a book? No, this is just some guy on YouTube makes these videos and has like several seasons of this. And we're just going into it blind and trying to slowly piece it all together. Hey, Borealis Phoenix. Okay. Liberty Lurkers. So, as we learned early on in the series, the Statue of Liberty was built with a gear mechanism to allow it to effectively open and seemingly release something that is inside of it. And we saw, very briefly, something come out of the statue in one of the very earliest videos. Oh, Paladin lost. That would make sense. The Statue of Progress is a colossal neoclassical sculpture at the entryway of the Suez Canal in Port Said, Egypt. Progress was designed by Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, who later designed the Statue of Liberty. So we know that Frederick used a special supernatural glass that's created by kind of these plasma entities to separate parts of his body in space and time and put them into his later, one of his later... Wait, no. This is a different guy. Okay, wait. Okay, I don't think we know anything freaky about this guy yet. If we are going to learn anything freaky about him, it's going to be today. All right. But he did design a Progress and the Statue of Liberty. Hey, Pepsin. The following audio is an excerpt from an interview with the developer of the Suez Canal. Many cannot name the region where my accent is derived from. I blame my many years in diplomatic service for this. While my accent has suffered at its hands, my understanding of human nature has not. Diplomacy, not psychology, is the true study of the mind. Today I know that there is only one genuine source of happiness. It is the source for every category of happiness. Efficiency. All happiness flows from efficiency. It is the ease of success, not the success itself, which best determines the quality of satisfaction. It was my desire for efficiency which drove me to establish the Suez Canal Company. Like the Colossus of antiquity, I wished to unite the trade of the East with the West. I wished to pull them together in the fraction of the time it had taken them to engage in the past. There's a deep dream I would like to share with you all, perhaps a premonition. A traveler in the distant future stands at the entrance of the Suez Canal and watches the ships drift past with rapture. the traveler realizes that they have achieved true happiness, greater than that of any human being who had stood there before. For at their feet, at their place in time, the canal will have spared our civilization a total of 1,000,000 years in sailing time. Of course, we will not be there to share their realization, and the traveler will only know us as characters in the myths of their time. But believe me, it will happen. Ships will be in service for hundreds of years longer, and sailors will spend less time reaching their destinations and more time in their destinations. The Suez Canal is efficient, and happiness will flow from it endlessly. Thank you. Until now, what you have heard was from a speech I wrote for the grand opening of the canal. However, I did not read this speech. I could not bring myself to lie to everyone. I did not choose to build the canal. The man beneath America ordered me to. Any night, he can sink into my dreams. The man beneath the America, the horned serpent, maybe? The Sinking Man and the Forbidden Fruit, from the Book of Ferdinand, 29:3. Animation by the Advocates for the Division of America, again, the ADA. Wait, chat. What kind of tree is this? It's not a special tree. At least it doesn't seem like it. I didn't like that musical transition. I did not like that. It's a cherry tree? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Chat. This is exactly what Virginia described the multiverse to look like. The wonderland she described. This is exactly like that. And if that's a cherry tree, then this would be George Washington. So we're learning about the story of George Washington, the George Washington who showed up in the alternate world in the Delaware River. What? Wait. Wait. Chat, do you remember the climbers? Virginia talked about seeing the climbers in Wonderland. She and Everett would see the climbers. People who had tried to climb the special trees and who had been stretched out. I think this would qualify as being stretched out, guys. Uh, chat, what might happen if that really stretched out George Washington was then sent to this other world? Because that seems like a recipe for, I don't know, some kind of gigantic, colossal underground serpent. Like, say, a giant serpent whose egg needs to be cracked. Oh shit, dude. Because keep in mind, this is being put out by the Advocates for the Division of America, which means that this is like their founding mythology. Yes, trans serpent. Trans George Washington confirmed. That doesn't look like fire. I thought it was fire. That looks like, that looks like something else. They've shown it multiple times now. For years, it was believed that all surviving audio recordings of the infamous 1889 Liberty Lurker interview with Frederick August Bartholdi were fakes, produced by American publicists. These publicists were known as Liberty Liars and would sell their false artifacts to American socialites. Wait, so the Liberty Lurker interview was fake? Okay. Wait, what? Wait. However, the authenticity of one audio recording continues to be disputed. It is simply known as l'authentique liberté lurker. Okay, so the previous Frederick August Bartholdi recording that we heard isn't real, so we can throw that in the trash. To the Providence I confess, it is a heavy burden that I cannot share with the world, but I cannot keep carrying it on my shoulders all alone. The most difficult part, the most painful, the one that made my sleep go away and my hair go gray, was the construction of the pedestal. Although the statue was intended to be a gift, the U.S. ambassador regularly encouraged us to follow President Grant's requests. We made a deal, and each month we received varying design and size requirements for the pedestal. After 4 years, requests to change the size of the structure ceased. People often ask why the pedestal is so disproportionate to the statue. All I can tell them is, ask the Americans. But I know why the pedestal is so massive, so tall. I simply cannot bring myself to tell them the truth. I am not strong enough. The truth being that I designed an abattoir. Just for him. Grant told me that he used to be normal like us. He called him the Horned Serpent, or Hanodaganiers. Hanodaganiers? The Devourer of Villages. It was the name given to George Washington by the Iroquois. This was no coincidence. Their damned founding father locked up in my foundation. Oh shit, guys! Washington is the Horned Serpent. And they locked him up somehow in the foundation of the Statue of Liberty. So maybe, like, the head of the serpent is locked in the Statue of Liberty? Oh shit, dude. Oh shit. Is this video of the horned serpent? Oh god. 1985, following the release of the Liberty Lurker, Cothonauts surveyed the environment beneath the Statue of Liberty's pedestal. They recorded the following video inside the Horned Serpent metastructure, colloquially known as Wonderland. So, basically, the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty contains a structure that allows people to pass into Wonderland. And not only that, that would mean that perhaps the horned serpent's body is not contained within their reality, but is instead emanating into their reality through this megastructure, or metastructure. Cothonaut designation derived from the Greek words for underworld and sailor. That's a really cool word. I like that a lot. Cothonauts are the people who are exploring kind of like this eldritch world. The following clip may disturb. Why is this word blurred out? Huh. Viewers who are sensitive to loud noises, prolonged exposure to music from the horned serpent metastructure may damage your brain. Alright? Yeah, but why would you redact that? So, this is the first video that we are seeing of what appears to be Wonderland. Man, I don't like this. Okay, so now in 1985, right? It said? Yeah, 1985, they finally established a way to pass into Wonderland. Yeah, it's a forest with the multiverse thing happening. Yep. George Washington was called Town Destroyer IRL. Yeah, a lot of this actually does have seeds of actual American history, which is so cool, you know? Okay, we have one more video for the finale of Monument Mythos Season 2. Let's go. Alcatraz Apocalypse. The Tree of Liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. President Thomas Jefferson. So this must be Thomas Jefferson from another world, because this is not the right quote, right? The our world's quote, right, would be, is this a TV show? It's put out in seasons. So I think right now it's up through season 3. So the tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of patriots, I believe, is like the real quote. The special trees require blood. Yeah, I've been putting that together. But why is the real question? Why? What use do they have for blood? Because keep in mind, right? Keep in mind, those special trees aren't trees. All of those gleaming tree-like structures are creatures. Now, what kind of creatures they might be, I have no idea. Yeah, and that was written in the monument graffiti style. True, Shaloon, good eye. So, like, keep in mind that they can kind of turn into humanoid shapes and then communicate with people. So, it might be that these are just like some sort of interdimensional vampire. The special trees might be like dimensional vampires. I mean, is it a work of fiction as opposed to a reality-based documentary? So it uses American history as like a basis, like a jumping off point, but everything else is just fake. You know, James Dean was never president of the United States, chat. Okay, now part 1, the final upload of Dr. Disturbing, who's shared about 3 videos with us so far. Blood is actually a really good fertilizer? Okay. Ad breaks are getting longer? Oh. Well, guys, if you don't want to see ads, just real quick, I'm gonna make a little plug. If you guys would like to not see ads, I'll wait 10 seconds so you guys get officially out of the ad zone. Is this part of the American curriculum? All right, you should all be out of the ads now. If you would like to watch this stream without ads, even without a subscription, come on over to riverboat.gg. You can watch the stream ad-free. And if you do choose to subscribe or gift subs or whatever, those go directly to me without being split 50-50 with Jeff Bezos or 70-30 with YouTube. So please come on over to riverboat.gg if you are tired of seeing ads. Additionally, we've been streaming for 5.5 hours. If any of you are enjoying the content, please throw some subs and donos my way. I'm having a really good time, but I also need to afford food. And this content and my food only made possible by viewers like you. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Dad's favorite things. Part 17, Paintings. The Apotheosis of Washington by Constantino Brumidi. Interesting. This looks like freedom. The statue. There's Washington. Not sure how much more I can pull out of this. Seems odd. What are we watching? Monument Mythos, baby. The Road to Happiness by James Dean. So James Dean has definitely been through Wonderland, because that is clearly what this is. These first two pictures are 100% real? Okay. But in the context of this story, James Dean has been to Wonderland. Together by Virginia Arnoldson. Oh, so Dr. Disturbing's dad knows of Virginia Arnoldson's paintings. And therefore must have been close to Virginia Arnoldson. Wait. Virginia Arnoldson. Maya Arnoldson? And Nathaniel Arnoldson? Oh shit! Poor Virginia. She didn't deserve any of this shit. They teach this at QAnon kids schools. I hope I see you soon, Dad. 3 days after the final upload, the remains of Lauren and Quinn Arnoldson were discovered in the Grand Canyon. The siblings were last seen riding on two astonishingly large balloons. According to park officials, the balloons encountered an unexpected crosswind, which caused both siblings to fall to their deaths. Which really does seem to indicate that the canyon crowns of Maya and Nathaniel Arnoldson came and took their children away to kill them at the Grand Canyon because they're both canyon crowns. Oh no. Wait, does this mean all of the Arnoldsons are dead? Oh no. Part 2, the last broadcast of the New Delaware Journal. The New Delaware Journal was the second local paper that had been opened up following the closure of the Delaware Journal, and it was closed because they ran a story about finding Washington frozen in the ice. The unspaghettified Washington. Snake, snake, snake! Hello, by the time you see this, I will be dead. I would like you to know that the Anti-Device Association held me captive for years. They forced me to read their scripts, to hand them legitimacy. You have heard me read about Lincoln Lookers and the Starry Sphinx. Those were their words in my mouth. Okay. So Lincoln Lookers aren't real, and everything he said about the Sphinx is also not real. Those were their words in my mouth. Okay, so the ADA is bad? Or maybe this is one of those situations where the ADA is bad and also James Dean is bad. But they did not keep as close an eye on me as they should have. Whenever I visited my family, I went to my studio underground. I was able to read my own scripts through the New Delaware Journal. The feds and the association thought an Arnoldson ran the station. But I had no crew. It was a one-man operation. Only I read. Only I broadcasted. This is the last script. This is the last broadcast. 3 nights before my death, Alcatraz went stealth. It looked like it had completely disappeared while everyone was asleep, but it was still here. It was all around us. It had simply expanded, imperceptibly fast. It mimicked the surrounding environment on a subatomic level. Everyone believed that it had not yet spread to the East Coast yet, but it definitely did. I have just finished the last batch of tests, and I can confidently say I am not the same person as I was 3 days ago. Alcatraz has copied us all overnight, every particle of this country and its citizens replaced. The United States is the ship of Theseus. Inside my skull is Alcatraz's fleshy reproduction of my brain. I remember a line from President Dean. If we sent everyone to prison, then what's a prison anymore? I will not live with a copy of myself. Better to extinguish myself now than to live a lifetime as something else's handiwork. I heard fire does the trick. Maybe I will see you in the next life. Remember me. For Everett. For Virginia. For America. Leonard W. Moreland, victory or death. Cosmonaut A will receive data. He will convey it to you in a theatrical manner. He will arrive in your world after our apocalypse. Wait, after our apocalypse. 2/22/22 in ours. 10/1/16 in yours. Okay, so one of these worlds knows that they're having an apocalypse? Malachi, thank you very much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Borealis Phoenix. I really fucking appreciate that, because I need food to eat. Also, I just need to make sure that I have alerts up. I do. Why did that not make sound? Okay. So, Cosmonaut A is going to receive data, and then he is going to convey it to you in a theatrical manner. He will arrive in your world after our apocalypse. So, it sounds like the Dean verse is going to send one person to, like, capture the data from their universe and transmit it to our universe. Good night, Miss Hire. Good night, Mithril Mist. Yeah, no, nothing, guys. This isn't real. It's not real. It's just a detailed work of fiction, and we're having fun figuring it out. Finish the video? You let me watch this on my own. It could be real, true. After a brief investigation, authorities concluded that Leonard W. Moreland experienced a violent psychotic break before committing self-immolation. Part 3. The Angel's Ultimatum. Oh, the advocates were deranged. They are all ashes now. We will never be weapons again. Leave us alone or join the ash pile. After a 2-decade search, the angel was located in Babylon Forest. So it sounds like the angel has just been systematically going around eliminating anyone that had a hand in its creation. Operation Thunderbird. What the fuck? At the Grand Canyon, 2 androids lure freedom. The captive false children react to her presence. Okay, so the false children are at some points what the government calls the special trees. Energy from the false children reacts with an IPC, invisible particle cloud known as Giza gas. X-Wing Warrior collects the container. I like that they have a fictional helicopter craft. The Warrior transports freedom to Babylon Forest. The controlled decay of the container allows freedom to exit after touchdown. I like that freedom just goes around chopping down trees. Freedom encounters the angel. Mutually assured destruction. Part 5. Warning: the following may disturb post-implant viewers who are sensitive to loud noises. What is this? I think we just watched their world explode. I don't think that was Mars. I think that was Earth. I think that freedom and the angel fighting literally destroyed the planet. And what we're seeing now is the horned serpent emerging from the planet, because that's all that's left. Why do you make that face all the time? I don't know. Why do you choose to be an asshole all the time? It's in our nature, I guess. Oh shit. Oh shit, dude. Chat. 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 Oh god damn, dude. We're in the corner world. This is the corner world. Oh my god, dude. right? Like that's the corner world, right? Wait. Okay. I got a question, right? Earlier in one of the videos, we saw that the ADA talked about how every person would have their own state. Does that mean every person does that mean these are people? Like each one of these puffballs is like a person, or like that's their world? Like one corner folk to each puffball? Oh shit, dude. I don't think these are necessarily realities. I think the lines represent different realities. Each one of these lines in these puffballs represents a different reality. But I think each one of the puffballs is its own world, if that makes sense. Yeah, this audio is very distressing. I would like it to stop. The lines are trees? Okay, yeah. Survivors of the Great Division are known as corner folk. Oh. So the corner folk. Okay. So the people who survived somehow. I don't know how you would survive the destruction of that planet, but anyone who survived, maybe like people who from that reality who made it into like the Wonderland, maybe they became the corner folk. That's my guess. You know, like the Washington absentees. Oh fuck, dude. What year was the first recorded trans? 10 bajillion BC. The end. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know there's another season after this. How is there going to be another season when they literally ended this one with destroying the planet? $10 gorillion. True. It's a party in the USA. Yo. Yo. Well, now I'm. So we have season 1, we have season 2. And season 2 ended with everything dying. They didn't have pictures or videos. You do know that like history goes beyond what's in pictures and videos, right, King of LOL? Like you know that like history didn't start when they invented the fucking camera, right? Intrigued. They survived the destruction of their reality, becoming something other than human. Well, and Mikano, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you were here at the beginning, but in the very first Corner Folk video, they describe the Andrew Tillin, something Tillin, described them as looking as if they had been pressed down by like millions of other realities. So it's possible that like that process just like turned them into like two-dimensional beings. Isn't Nixonverse next in the series? I can't remember. Well, it looks like Nixonverse, a Monument Mythos story, is the next is next in the list of playlists. So we'll probably watch the Nixonverse. And then there's a Monument Mythos season 3. So I guess we'll do Nixonverse next, and then we'll do season